I suppose to start with your thoughts on what happened over that 90 minutes, please, Ruben.
Yeah, it's more the same. We suffer goals early in the game, and then everything is twice is hard to manage. We try to have possession, to control the ball, but then the players feel that anxious. They are always controlling the passes, no putting the ball between the lines, really nervous in every touch that they do. We managed to score, to create some momentum, but then after half time, with the second goal and then the third goal, they killed the game. Is more or less what happened in the last games at home, and this is not acceptable. No matter the time in training that you have to acknowledge that we are in Manchester United, and losing so many games at home is not acceptable.
Is that the biggest change that you've got to make? Is the mentality, the confidence, the bravery almost to be able to play those passes between the lines ahead of the play to keep things moving?
We need to win games. No matter what, we need to win games and then pass to that phase. To tell you the truth is that we are putting one idea and then we are losing games. So everything is really hard, because if you don't win games, sometimes you cannot believe in the way we play. It's harder. So we have to continue to do what we are doing, but we need to win games to help us to sell the idea to the players.
Is it helpful to have another game coming on Thursday so you can fix things?
No, I think we need training to fix things, but it's another opportunity to win games, and in this moment is the most important thing.
Ruben, thank you.
Thank you.
We have to.
It's so good. It's so good. The keeper doesn't think I can get there, but defensively, goalkeeper, they struggle to score goals. United have so many issues. It's crazy.
I'm talking of Onana. He had a horrible moment for Brighton's third.
Yeah, I mean, it's individual mistakes, isn't it? Individual errors, especially at this level. You know, you make mistakes like this, you're going to get punished. But throughout the game, I mean, Brighton deserved to win the game anyway. United one shot on. But you see here, you know, it's not even hard, is it really?
But look, Jay, even on the late to everything, everybody's late. Okay, it's a mistake from Onana, you know, and false Ruta, but everybody's late to everything. Even Amorim said that against Southampton, didn't he? He said, you know, you're late into the press.
It's reactive, isn't it? Like, just Ruta's obviously the first one to react there. You know, any spillage, and then, you know, but it's a bad mistake.
And today, Owen, Manchester United at home in the Premier League, one shot on target.
Steve, they never look like scoring. You know, they scored from a penalty. That was it. You know, Brighton had one disallowed, scored 3, probably had numerous chances outside of that. But, I mean, you see the graphic there, the last 6 results. Everybody's giving United trouble. I mean, Southampton were last place with 6 points from 60 and could have got something. So when you think you're going to play, you know, Newcastle, and you're going to play Bournemouth, and you're going to play Brighton, you're going to get punished. And I think that's the worry for Amorim. You know, he's come in, he said, look, I'm going to play this way. You'd have to say it doesn't suit the players that they have right now. It's not just about playing your way you want to play, which is fine. You've got to find a way to get results. That's it.
And they're not doing. 11 points he's got from a possible 33 since walking through the door.
If you're conceding goals, though, but if you don't like scoring, there's got to be a problem. Apart from, I think his first game against Ipswich, I think it was the Rashford goal, the first one.
They could have lost that game and all.
Yeah, but even that, you look at it, you think, OK, you can sort of see the patterns, what he's trying to do, and you think, OK, but apart from that, really, you just can't see what they do in terms of in possession. Out of possession is too easy to play against.
I think they struggle to keep the ball with this formation sometimes. You know, I think to progress it between the lines, because there's only 2 central midfield players, I think it's hard to keep it. You know, so you're relying on individual moments like, you know, from Ahmad to kind of get you out of trouble. But defensively, you know, they don't look great.
And aside from all that, are you seeing the right attitude, the right effort, the right application?
Yeah, I don't think it's an attitude thing. I don't think it's an effort thing. I think the boys are trying, but obviously,
They look a little bit confused to you.
They probably are confused, yeah, because they're trying to do what the manager wants them to play a certain way, and they're going to do it, right? Because if they don't, they're not going to play.
Right.
But I think the recruitment's been a huge issue over the last 3-4 years. You look at Brighton; they had 6 players in that starting 11 that would start for Man United. That should never happen, ever. With the utmost respect, they shouldn't have players that get into a United team. They shouldn't even get in the 18, and they got 6 that would start at Man United. So goes back to recruitment. You know, how much did Ten Hag spend? 600 million. And there's not many of those players that would start for another top four.
Which
side.
isn't Ruben Amorim's.
No, I know it's not, but what I'm saying is it goes back to recruitment. They got to get recruitment right. But again, I think it's such a danger just to recruit because we play this way, we play a 3-4-3. Because what if Ruben eventually goes? You know, then you start with those players as well. So I think they need to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more variable than this, because it's not working defensively or offensively.
They never seem to be in control, though.
No,
when you watch the games and that, you never think, especially at home, like they never really seem to be in control. They win the ball back and you think, okay, then can they gain some control and get some passes, have a spell? Never seem to be in control. And on top of that, can they, go forward and create chances? So I mean, Ahmed, you give it to him and he was, okay, just go on with it. And he'll just try and do something, but part of it.
OK, we'll come back to this after the game, as ever, with Manchester United. Owen is frustrated and hurt with his former club. Let's see how Jermaine is feeling about his, because it's 3 consecutive defeats for Tottenham now.
Onana, which left the simplest of tap-ins for Jorginho Rutter, kind of summed up a little bit United's day on the pitch. Here in Matchday Review, we'll attempt to unravel what's just happened and bring you some reaction from the dressing room as well, see what our manager, or head coach, shall I say, Ruben Amorim, thought of that performance and the result, which leaves us in 13th place in the Premier League. So, hell of a lot of work to do. Danny Simpson alongside me. We've got Danny Webber up in the studio. Helen, we'll go to them shortly. Your reaction, though, Simo, to that defeat?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing, but then at the same time, at home recently, we've not been great. Southampton the other day, we weren't great, but obviously Ahmad got us an hat-trick and pulled us out of the bag. Brighton are obviously a way better team than Southampton, and they're organised, got some great players. I think when we went 1-0 down, probably deserved. Obviously, we got the goal, like you said, through Bruno, and felt like that. Then it was pretty even going into the second half, and I thought, right, half-time, get the manager, speak to him about what we need to do, what's going wrong. But in the second half, we just didn't get going at all. I thought the disallowed goal was gonna like spark something into the group, and it didn't, which was a foul on Dalot. And then it was a cross at the back post between Mazraoui and Onana. Can you stop the cross? It was a great goal from them, to be fair. Great cross, great goal.
Mitoma at that far post just got a toe to it.
Got a toe before Mazraoui, and then obviously then the mistake from Onana, which we're all there to see. And sometimes you players make mistakes. What can you do?
And when you're the goalkeeper making a mistake, it invariably ends up in a goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, more often than not. And the lads look like they were looking at each other as if then we're all looking as fans or as pundits saying, what have we got up top to try and get back into the game? And we didn't have much up there, which is unfortunate. We brought Højlund on, and we just never looked like a goal threat going into the second half. Just didn't get going, and eventually Brighton deserved to win.
Yeah, and it's another game where we conceded the first goal. They say the first goal is so important. OK, we managed to bounce back against Southampton, but you can't keep conceding the first goal in matches.
You're giving yourselves a mountain to climb straight away, especially at home, because I've been here as a player. I played here for United and against, and if you go 1-0 up here and this crowd, it can intimidate the opposition, and we're not using that to our advantage. We're giving them teams are coming here thinking if we nick a goal first, then we've got a chance. And listen, we're just not using what Old Trafford is. We can't keep going 1-0 down because you said it's. I don't think we're good enough at the moment to keep coming back from that time and time again. So it's something that needs to be addressed, whether it's concentration or what, I don't know.
Right, we'll shortly head up, get the thoughts of Danny Webber in the studio with Helen. Before we do that, let's get to the analysis of our commentators.
Ready and waiting to talk to manager and players, Ben, but disappointing afternoon for Manchester United. Got themselves level, but then maybe a couple of errors in the second half leading to 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a maybe. There were a couple of errors in the second half, but that aside, they started the second half the same as they did the first, and you can only see that the goal was going to go in at one end. not the way that it did, obviously, but it was Brighton the ones that were really carrying the momentum. And I didn't think they played particularly well, certainly not the Brighton that we're used to seeing. But with the aid of the two mistakes, then they've come away from here 3-1. And you have to couple that with the fact that Manchester United didn't do anywhere near enough in the second half. There was no real urgency. Diogo Dalot did everything he could to keep, making those runs and trying to get in behind. And Ahmad, obviously, was doing his utmost. But I just didn't think that there was the urgency or the quality there today to get anything out of that.
Is the frustration for people that we've seen how good Manchester United can be in games of football, and we saw it today in long spells United were the better of the two sides, just unable to sort of make hay whilst that sun's shining.
Yeah, and I think that it's been part of the undoing, and certainly there is a frustration there that we know what this team can be capable of. And that's why people will leave the stadium here today thinking we've had quite a good start to 2025, but it's come away now, and we do get ourselves into positions where the final ball, I think I counted on 3 or 4 occasions to say where the ball was pulled into somebody, and there was no finesse into getting the ball towards goal. It was hitting players all the time, and that's frustrating for the players themselves. So I can understand where they're coming from. But yeah, it's a difficult afternoon, obviously a very sombre afternoon, and the football was very disappointing.
Just finally, Rangers next for Manchester United. That comes up in midweek, an opportunity to get back on the training pitch, try and iron a few things out and go again on Thursday.
Yeah, of course they will, and that is an atmosphere. I know it was a little bit different today, but they will be bringing a lot of noise, and obviously they've been going quite well in the Europa League as well. But this is a chance for us to consolidate our position, to get ourselves into the top 8 so that we don't need a playoff game, and hopefully don't even need to go into Bucharest and win in the final game. But it'll be a proper atmosphere that on Thursday.
We'll speak to head coach Ruben Amorim and hopefully a player as well down here in the interview area very shortly. In the meantime, back to you guys.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, the guys there mentioned Rangers. That will be the next home game in just 4 days. As we spoke about before, the games just come so thick and fast at this time of year. Let's have a little look at the next 5 fixtures that we have.
Business once more on the back of that very important equaliser. 1-1. So deflection, and it will be a throw-in. Well, what can they do to stop him running at them? Romeo Lavia. And there it is, the half-time whistle. So the beginning of the second half here at Stamford Bridge. Possession 1. Mudryk. Being egged on by the crowd. And a goal to re-establish their advantage. Just look at the celebrations. Palmer.